Clasico between Barcelona and Real Madrid. I'll also give you my best 11 from both of those teams combined this season, and we'll look around the other top European leagues as well. But we have to start out with the biggest game of the weekend, and maybe even the biggest game in the world, and that's the one between Barcelona and Real Madrid this past weekend, and it had huge title implications to see who could close the gap and perhaps even surpass Atletico Madrid, who has been leading La Liga for quite some time. El Clasico definitely delivered with the goods, as it so often does, with moments of individual and collective brilliance, tons of intensity, and the usual drama. But let's start out the recap, and it was Fede Valverde who burst forward in the first half and was the catalyst for Karim Benzema, who got the early goal via a beautiful flick. That was after a Lucas Vázquez cross found him beautifully inside the box. Now, this happened just before Toni Kroos made it 2-0 for Real Madrid from the set piece, which was around 15 minutes later. And by this point, Barcelona had shown that they had some trouble transitioning to defense and that Real Madrid could sit back a little bit deeper and be deadly on the counterattack. Now, with the rain hammering down at the Alfredo Di Stefano in the second half, I thought the hope was that the game would continue with its frenetic pace and chaotic entertainment. We saw shots off the post, penalty appeals not given, and so much more intensity. But more than anything, a game with this huge expectation delivered once again, showcasing the talent and excitement that La Liga has to offer. The win means we have more Liga than ever in what's poised to be a spectacular three-horse race in the final month and a half of the season. Let's continue with a roundup of the European leagues, but we gotta quickly revisit the other game in Spain that had huge title implications, and that was between Real Betis and Atletico Madrid. And Atleti only managed a 1-1 draw, meaning that they're currently only 1 point above Real Madrid and 2 points above Barcelona. How exciting is this? Maybe not so much for Atleti fans, but for neutrals like me, it'll be a crazy battle, one that Atletico Madrid really squandered, as they've now only won once in their last 4 La Liga games. Moving on to the Premier League, and Manchester United came from behind to win again, and won on the road again, beating Tottenham 3-1. There was plenty of drama with VAR on Edinson Cavani, Jose Mourinho complaining that his team should have gotten a bit more. Even though Spurs have now dropped 18 points from winning positions in the Premier League this season, second only to Brighton. United, meanwhile, are now 23 games undefeated on the road in the league and should have that second spot on the table cemented, which is good for the Champions League, while Tottenham find themselves on the outside looking in, currently in 7th place and 6 points away from that Champions League position. Let's move on to Serie A. The top 7 teams in the league all won, meaning that nothing has changed with the order, and the battle for the last 3 Champions League spots are still up for grabs. We can call Inter the Scudetto champions-elect, as they've realistically wrapped up this title, taking it away from Juve after 9 consecutive seasons of being the champs. But I think the most interesting storyline is with Milan and Juve, and whether either of them will dramatically fall out of the top 4 when it's all said and done this season. The good news for Juventus, though, is that they played really well against Genoa this weekend, and it was a great response after disappointing performances in the last month. Right then, rapid fire time in the European leagues, and in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich draw against Union Berlin means that there's now a 5-point difference between first and second place, while in the French Ligue 1, Lille still have a 3-point lead over Paris Saint-Germain, as both of those teams won over the weekend. Now it's time for the best 11, the best Clasico 11 of the season, and I'll be combining the players who I think have performed the best from both Real Madrid and Barcelona, assuming I could just buy both those clubs and turn it in one mega dream team. Let's start in goal, and I don't think there's that much doubt that it's Real Madrid's Thibaut Courtois, who has shown his best form with incredible shot stopping. And in front of him, to go to the defense, I've gone with 3 defenders, maybe some out of position. The young American right back Serginho Dest is in my 11, who at only 20 years old has become a Barcelona starter, and I think he has a great future ahead of him with his attacking prowess as well, a real modern fullback. In the middle of the defense, there's no doubt it's Real Madrid's legendary Sergio Ramos, with his teammate Ferland Mendy, an excellent defender at left back, rounding out my back line. Let's move directly in front of the back three, and it's got to be Frankie de Jong, who has been important with his passing, his IQ, and his versatility as well this season, as he's even had to drop a little bit further back than usual. You have to include the three incredible Real Madrid midfielders in front of him, Casemiro, Luka Modric, and Toni Kroos, who are now healthy and who have collectively gone back to their very best together despite them going up in years. Now, there's little doubt that Lionel Messi is a starter up top, having already scored 23 goals for Barcelona in La Liga this season, but he's joined on the opposite flank by someone almost half his age. It's his incredible 18-year-old teammate Pedri, who has shown some brilliant intelligence and technique for such an inexperienced player, and should go on to be one of the most important Barcelona players very soon. Up top has to be Karim Benzema. He's been in unbelievable form, having scored 9 goals in his last 7 La Liga games, including El Clasico. I have no doubt, though, that you'll probably disagree with my list. Finally, we got to talk about Jesse Lingard, a player who was featured in the ICC tournament in the past with both Manchester United, and now, most recently, he was loaned to West Ham because he wasn't getting playing time with his parent club. And since the switch, he's been one of the hottest players in the Premier League. In 9 games, get this, with the Hammers, Lingard has scored 8 goals and provided 3 assists, and it's because of this form, one of the main reasons why West Ham currently sit in 4th place in the Premier League table, 1 point above Chelsea. Certainly not a place that I think a lot of West Ham fans thought they would be at the beginning of the season. I hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Around the ICC. I'm your host, Matteo Bonetti. You can follow me at Bonetti on Twitter and the ICC at INT Champions Cup on Twitter and at International Champions Cup on Facebook and Instagram. I'll see you guys next week.